So last week I posted a video on TikTok and this person commented on one of my videos, and the title of my video was how to stop bullying yourself, basically stop the negative self-talk. And she commented that tough love is criticism. And so I want to talk about tough love today, and I want to probably give you some tough love, because if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that I used to post Tough Love Tuesday. I have not done that. I am posting this on a Thursday. Maybe I'll call this episode Tough Love Thursday. But I just truly believe that if you are not honest with yourself, if you are not honest with someone, if you don't hold boundaries for yourself or you don't hold boundaries with someone, and you just keep allowing certain things to happen, whether you enable yourself or you enable other people, you come to a place where you need tough love. And what do I mean by that? You need someone, whether it's yourself looking in your own mirror or someone like a coach. Hello, I have my 12-week group coaching program called Diligent Daughters Academy. I'll tell you more about the 12-week part because that's actually something new. But you need someone who's going to really tell you where you are lacking, like maybe what's your blind spot, and they're going to help you point out those things that you need to improve on. And not only that, I think this person, whether it's a mentor, a coach, a parent, obviously gives a lot of tough love to their children in a respectful way, of course, but it's a type of love that is, I care so much about you that I don't want to see you go down this path. I don't want to see you to keep struggling in survival mode. I don't want to see you to be struggling to keep up with the laundry and just being stressed out that no one has their uniforms or no one has their work clothes. I don't want to see you consistently being stressed out by the dishes and being resentful of having to take care of your home. And that is why, for me, as a coach who helps women basically go from distracted to disciplined, get out of survival mode, I'm not afraid to help my clients identify those blind spots that they may have. But also, I love when they have this realization for themselves, through the coaching process and the program that they're going through with me. I love when they have this realization, oh, I need to fix this too. Or I didn't realize I was doing this, but I need to change something. That is a result of them having someone guide them through this process of, again, going from distracted to disciplined, scatterbrained to structured. And it's helping them see that they can make changes, because the biggest win for me with my clients through Diligent Daughters Academy has been seeing they tell me what is going on in their world. They tell me the challenges and the struggles, and here I come, not as the hero. I don't want you to ever think I am the hero in this journey. In fact, my clients are the heroes of their own stories that God has written out for them. And yes, Jesus, of course, is the ultimate hero and savior, but I'm talking about the process of becoming the woman that God has called them to be. They share these things with me, and they are telling me, how I can be praying for them. Anytime I hear a struggle or a challenge that is shared within our group, I automatically go to prayer. I don't automatically go to try to fix their problems. Most of the time, it's interesting. They know what they need to do, what they need to change, and I'm there to help brainstorm, help obviously coach them through that whenever we meet in our weekly calls. But all that to say is that they are in this environment that maybe they've never been in before. Excuse me, there's a gnat flying around again. They're in this environment where I'm holding them accountable. They're actually holding each other accountable because it's a group setting. So it's not just me pointing the finger at all. It's them sharing in this group setting what's going on. And by doing that, you don't have this negative bully, depressing, self-deprecating voice in your head as much, versus if you were trying to go at it alone. Because believe me, there have been many times where I have tried to make changes on my own, and don't get me wrong, I had a season of my life that literally got me to where I am here. It was the foundation, the building block, where I was doing things on my own, but eventually I needed I needed to hire someone to help me. I reached a ceiling of not being able to get past this certain like level, if you want to take it that way. If you think of a video game, like you maybe you beat this little boss and then you have to go beat the final boss, and it's like, okay, I actually need like the bonus tips and tricks or whatever. Like I'm not, you can tell I don't play that many video games, but like you can go to the little store in the video game and buy power-ups or whatever to help you beat the boss. And that's what I did in my journey. And the craziest part about that is that this person, I wouldn't even like, it's not that they were being so harsh with me or so shaming or condemning. It wasn't anything about that at all. Like, their tough was them just being real with me. Like, hey, if you want to get this done, this is what it takes. This is what it's going to cost, not just like financially. This is like, you got to put the time, effort, and obviously investment into what you're trying to do, because there's only so much you can do on your own. And yes, you have God, don't get me wrong, like the Lord carries you through seasons, but there comes a time and a place where you've outgrown that season and you're stuck. And there's a reason why schools have grades. If you don't go on to the next grade, guess what? You get to repeat it over. Why? Because you have not shown that you have mastered those skills, or at least reached a sufficient level of knowing those skills, And so then you move on. And who is your guide in that journey? Your teacher. And sometimes you have a mentor or a coach in that process. And these people, they're there to help you. They're there to guide you. And I think the biggest thing that has been monumental and just very significant in the growth of my clients' lives is that my program, Diligent Daughters Academy, is Christ-centered. So we're not doing things out of our own strength. I'm not just teaching them how to time block, teaching them how to set fun, easy, simple, doable goals habits to reach their goals. We're not just doing it out of a worldly lens. We're doing it from a place of God. You are our source of strength. You are our source of comfort when we're having a bad day. You are our source of peace when we don't see progress as quickly as we want to. And so that's what's been monumental to their growth. That has been what's helped them push past what they probably didn't even think they could go, or push past the challenge or struggle that they were going through. And so it wouldn't be for the tough love that I give to them in the group. And it's not like it's something where I'm saying like, why didn't you get that done? Why didn't you do this today? Oh, no. It is nothing like, sounded like such a mom. Oh, no. Sorry. It's more about me just holding up a mirror to them and saying like, hey, how are you doing with this? Hey, how's this going? I know you mentioned this earlier. What's the progress on that? What does it look like? Any challenges, any roadblocks? And so I think some people confuse just stating reality and stating facts about the situation with criticism, and they get defensive. But if we look at the Bible, we have the Holy Spirit within us whenever we become believers, and we need to be receptive to whatever conviction the Holy Spirit is bringing to us. And gonna be a little personal, vulnerable here. I would struggle so much with saying bad words. And so I thankfully don't struggle with that as often. I will say there are times where I still need to be surrendered to the Spirit and still submit my flesh to the Spirit, and I make mistakes just like you. But guess what? Now it's up here. It is a battle up here. And there's a verse that comes to my mind. It says, let no unwholesome talk come out of your mouth. And another verse I want to share with you is in Romans chapter 8. And it says that we need to keep in step with the Spirit. And when we keep in step with the Spirit, guess what? I'm submitting my flesh to what the Spirit has for me. And so for a lot of us, we get so caught up in what the flesh wants. You get caught up in scrolling when you know you need to put the phone down, and go just do the dishes, and it's going to take you 10 minutes. But guess what? You spent 30 minutes scrolling when you could have just gotten that task done and out of the way. But no, you put it off. You kept complaining. You kept getting whiny and resentful towards it. And now look at that. It's like 10 minutes before you need to get ready for bed, and you still have this thing that hasn't been done, when really all you needed to do was say no to this thing that keeps you trapped and stuck in the survival mode cycle. And guess what? It repeats itself, because the morning is built off of your nighttime routine. I have a whole podcast episode about that. I will link it in the description below. And that was a little tough love right there. But it's really until you get honest with yourself about your situation. Do you hate the situation that you're in right now? And do you hate it enough to actually take action and make a change and actually do something to get out of your situation? And I want to talk about this idea of being disgusted with the situation that you're in. And this is, again, not to shame you or condemn you. If you just really hate the situation that you're currently in, these are your two main options. You either do something about it, or you just keep living the same day every day. And what I mean by doing something about it, I don't mean completely change your life in one night. Oh goodness, no. I don't even teach my clients that. In fact, that's the complete opposite of what I teach. I mean, you need to start taking small baby steps towards the life that you want to live. The life that is not stressed out for having to clean your house, because guess what? You have a whole routine, a life where you're not the stressed, chaotic mom about cleaning the house because you have a routine. A life where you're not the doom scrolling, shaming yourself kind of mom because you know how to finally say no to that and put the phone down. The life that you are actually making progress and doing things that you love, like your passion, like working out, or maybe a hobby, or writing, whatever the case may be, because you now actually have margin or time during your week to get that in. And guess what? That builds you up as a mom. It builds your confidence. It builds your self-esteem. It builds your competence. Like, you're actually able to accomplish things through the week and not feeling like you have to play catch up every single week. And guess what? You're actually more present with your children because you're making sure that you're planning ahead and preparing ahead versus being this hot mess express, flying by the seat of your pants. And here's the thing about that. That is such a common phrase today. And people, I remember when I became a mom, would actually say oh, I'm a hot mess express. And to me, that was gross. That was gross. I have no other adjective for it. It was just gross for me to think why do people glorify and are proud to be this type of person who's all over the place and scatterbrained? Do we have those moments? Yes, but I'm talking about making it your normal life, making it just the way that you operate. I feel like that is just such a disservice and not a blessing to your family and your home if you're just constantly underprepared, constantly stressed out, constantly chaotic. And guess what? I'm talking to the mom who just keeps living the same day over and over again, wondering, when is it going to get better? When is my life going to get better? When am I going to finally get out of the cycle? It starts when you want it to start. That cycle ends when you decide for it to end. And it can be even in the toughest of circumstances. I used to be a single mom. I have clients and past clients who are single moms and just very, tough situations in life. But guess what? They still put the energy in, the effort in, and they actually made an investment so that they could make a lasting impact and change in their life that's going to serve not just them, but their family in the long run. And so before I share with you a little bit more about Diligent Daughters Academy and the recent change I made, I want to ask you this question. What is it going to take for you to actually make that change, for you to actually say enough is enough? I'm sick of living this lifestyle where I'm a hot mess, and I don't want that. I don't want that for the next year, 3 years, 5 years, decade of my life. I want to see some major improvements in how I carry myself, my attitude, how I take care of my home, how I show up for my spouse, if you're married, for my children. And I know you can do it. I believe you can do it. because if God can take me, someone who used to have such a microwave mentality and just used to be so frustrated that I wouldn't see progress after 3 days or even 2 weeks, he can do it in your life. There's nothing special about my situation. It's about my willingness. And I know you have that same willingness when you actually take the first step. And I'm going to tell you about how you can take the first step. So, Diligent Daughters Academy, I mentioned earlier, got a makeover. Not really. It got an additional 4 weeks of maintenance coaching added onto it. So my clients that are in that group right now, they originally signed up for 8 weeks. But through prayer and just careful consideration, I thought about, well, realistically, it takes about 90 days for habits and routines to really set in. And it just kind of felt awkward, like, I'm working with you to help you start and create these habits, but like, what about maintaining them? And so the first 8 weeks, yes, they get the modules. Of course, we have the monthly coaching calls. And then after those 8 weeks are done, it's all about maintenance. So we're still going to be meeting, but there won't be any modules. It's just basically going to be a place for accountability and support to continue so that you are staying encouraged, so that you can see that you can still stick to it. And it's all to help them realize that they can continue these habits. And even on their bad days, even on their days where they want to give up, they can still maintain the baseline of what they need to do. So, all that to say, your first step, if you want to be part of the fall session of Diligent Daughters Academy, you can use the link below in the description or go to stan.store/Victoria Garris, and there will be a section where you can sign up for my fall waitlist. The next session of Diligent Daughters Academy starts in October. I'm so excited. And here's another thing too. If you miss that waitlist session for October, guess what? You can jump in at any time. Just because you miss enrolling in October does not mean that you can't join afterwards. Yes, it is going to be a year-round program. Of course, there will be breaks during holidays and things like that if I have to take time off, of course. But all that to say is that if you are ready to make a lasting change, lasting impact on not just your life, but your family's life and your home for the future to come, go sign up in the waitlist. And I want to say something really quick. This isn't for you if you just constantly start things and then you show up to them for like 2 weeks and then you're complaining about why things haven't changed. This is for women who are actually serious about making a lasting change, a lasting impact. I'm going to also say this isn't for you if you complain about a lot of things. If you're constantly complaining about this, that, and the other, like that's the normal thing for you every single day, it's not for you, because the women in there are serious about being thankful no matter what their current life circumstances, and they're also dedicated to making changes. It surprises me how quickly my clients in DDA, Diligent Daughters Academy, are just so quick to implement things. They're so quick to adapt, to change. Like maybe they try something one week and it's like, oh, actually that's not going to work next week. Let's revisit that. Of course, I give them ideas, help them through that. But my point is that if you are someone who just, you try something for like 2-3 days or like 2 weeks and you're like, why has nothing changed? It's probably not for you. If you're someone who complains a lot and isn't really grateful for even the smallest things in your life, probably not for you. If you're someone who's uncomfortable with being held accountable and being seen by others, also, it's probably not for you. And that's totally fine. You can keep listening to the podcast. You can even if you join the wait list, you can still get my emails. That is totally fine. But all that to say, either way, I want you to take the next right step that God is leading you to. So don't put that off. Go pray. And then when he gives you that clear go, and you can ask for him to give you a clear go, don't sit on it. Don't wait. Do not procrastinate. Pray and then take action, because we walk by faith and not by sight. So I'm going to end it there. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. If you feel called to join Diligent Daughters Academy in the next enrollment period, go join the waitlist in the link below. And if this episode inspired you, encouraged you, challenged you, please feel free to leave a review on Apple Podcasts. If you're on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe, and you can leave a comment and let me know how this episode helped you. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks, and have a good one.